Hey guys, it's Jen Pinkner here, and I am the leader of Team Purpose. I would like to welcome you all to our team, and I want to share with you about the cornerstone of our business, which is product. Okay, take notes. I'm going to try to go fast because I'm not going to dive really deep. I'm going to let you know practically what is helpful. There are ways that you can learn more as well. I want you to write down these resources. The solutions tool on your personal website when you signed up, and if you're doing Pulse, is invaluable to you. You're going to want to find that link and you are going to send people that tool, or you can walk through it with them on the phone. So you can ask them the questions and then you enter it in and just give them a consultation. But it will recommend what they need regarding their skincare concerns. It will also recommend add-on items, and it gives the order in which they should use it and the directions. So that is very helpful. Also, on the website, the RF connection. It's RF connection. I believe it's your website backslash RF connection. So that's how you find that. I will put it below on these things too. That is going to give you all the questions you have, like about definitions, about ingredients, about how do I use this best? What if I'm allergic to this? What should I do if I'm pregnant? What can I use? That is a resource. And as you learn and grow, you're going to need to go there first to start digging and learning. As far as like when somebody asks you a question, this is how you learn. You go, oh, let me check that out. And you go there and you look through. You can search on that page. There's also some videos from our nurse Mary, who heads up the RF connection to help you know how to guide your people. So there's that RF connection. Then there's also the Derm RF blog. That just gives you some things that you can share on social media, but it also helps you learn and get skincare tips. And then if you follow on Facebook, Rodan and Fields, that's how it's put out, and then IRF. Both of those pages are on Facebook. They have great graphics. They also have great things to share about products, helping people grow. They put a lot of good marketing things on there. So that is a very helpful page. And also, and this is not Rodan and Fields related, but it's Rodan and Fields Consultants on Facebook, a group called Priscilla. And your sponsor can help guide you there. So when we get started with products, so 75 to 80% of Rodan and Fields profit earnings is from customers with products, repeat customers. So that's a huge amount. These are very good products. They're making a difference in people's lives. The one thing that makes them different, Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields use their philosophy is multi-med therapy. So they're making sure they get the right ingredients, and they're making sure they have the right amount of those ingredients and in the right order. And the simplest way to think about this as an example, and you can share this with your customers as well, when they're asking, I just want one thing to use. And I understand that. I understand people are always thinking, I want simple, I want economical. But here's the deal. The best results, those before and after pictures, are from using a whole regimen, which is the core of what, really the core of visibly changing your skin. So it's like baking a cake. Now, I could cook something all day long. I'm not a baker. But if I cook something, sometimes I just throw everything in and like a pot of soup or something like that. And it's not as complex as baking. With baking, you have to put the right ingredients in that right amount. You have to soften butter a certain way. You have to make sure that the temperature is a certain temperature, or everything chemically gets off. You have to make sure the ingredients are just perfectly placed in the right order, and it affects the outcome. And that's what I want you to think about when you think about multi-med therapy. We have at our disposal Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields, which are the creators of Proactive, and they started Rodan and Fields in high-end department stores in 2002. They chose to be the ones to pull out in 2007, and they researched and saw trends and made an actual brilliant decision to go into social commerce, direct sales, and that brought in right at the right time with Facebook going mainstream and our smartphone. Smartphones came out. The iPhone came out that year, or the year before. So you can run your business from your phone, and you're going to want to show proof that these products work, that this business works, and a huge way to do that with products is showing before and afters. Just the results. The results tell the story. Here's something that I want you just to protect yourself before sharing a before and after. If you're making one up, or if you're deciding, ooh, that looks good, well, hold on a minute before you share it, because we really want to protect the integrity of what's going on. You want to make sure it has the person's name, whether they are an independent consultant on there or a preferred customer, and you need to know the products that they used, all the products that they used, and the amount of time in which they used it. And that is the most powerful way that you can share. I encourage you to save things on your phone. You can use it in Instagram stories. You can, you want to get that out there, because people seeing that over time really starts them going, this looks like it does something. It's not just a fun little marketing ploy. So that's huge for products. Okay, so your 4 core regimens are the core of everything. That is what is going to bring visible change to people's skin. That is going to bring that emotional component. There are 4 regimens. You have the Soothe regimen for sensitive skin. You have Reverse regimen for dark marks, pigmentation. You have, I don't have my box up here, but Unblemish for acne, that hormonal cystic acne. And then you have Redefine for aging. And I put Redefine on top because that's where everybody needs to aim to go, because that will be your lifetime regimen. A lot of people, though, don't want to say they have sensitive skin, but I'm going to tell you, let's say you have somebody take the solutions tool. Here's some things that you need to be aware of in talking with them first, because nobody wants to mark they have sensitive skin, but you need to ask the questions. Hey, so tell me, do you ever get redness or irritation from using products? Or do you ever get breakouts from using products? Ask questions like that, because that's going to give you a bigger picture of, people might answer questions with where they want to go instead of where they really are. And sometimes Soothe is the best place to start. And what it's going to do is help build up that outer layer. Basically what sensitive skin is, if there's redness, dryness, things like that, it's a thin skin on top. There might be kind of fissures in it. And so to bring healthy skin, you want to use this and build up that outer layer. It may be for several months. It might be for a month. It may be for 6 months. But there's going to be benefit to that. With Soothe, well, I'll do the add-ons a little bit later. But Soothe is is very helpful. And I've had several people that we've ended up sending back because of the 60-day money back guarantee, sending back the thing they started with when they either I let it slip by or I didn't ask the questions that go along with it. Have you had any sensitivity? And given them examples of what that looks like. And then teaching. We want to educate people. We are providing a service. They aren't providing us a service. We're providing them a service. So being able to help them get the best experience is very important. So tracking with them as they go. Okay, next, I'm not even going through all 4 parts of that. That's just an overview. The Oftentimes, if someone has sensitivity, like little bit of flare-ups, like with Unblemish or even with Reverse, I might add Soothe 2 in there. It's got a medicine component that helps calm the skin. Or if they need a little extra moisture to Reverse, or even Redefine and Unblemish, Soothe 3 is a great moisturizer, and it also ends up being a great makeup primer. So those are some tips along the way. Then we have Unblemish. So we aren't really allowed because of non-compete to compare Unblemish and Proactive. Here's the thing I will tell you though. I've seen over time with customers, if somebody is using Proactive, they've used it for years and it works great, I just say, hey, let me help you with some things for anti-aging that can go along with that. What I've found is a lot of times people with super oily skin, they do well with Proactive. Because I think it's a drying kind of thing. But people who have any sensitivity and may be on the drier side tend to really move toward Unblemish. And it is not something, it is something that hopefully they will not be on for all the time. The mask, it's a clay mask. I often use it in a mixture with my Redefine mask just to give a good cleaning. It helps cleanse the pores, that bacteria out. The number one in Unblemish helps to prevent. Okay, then you have the all of the others except for Soothe have a toner. And so there's a clarifying toner with the Unblemish, which kind of helps. It's a little exfoliant, but it helps bring that stuff out as well. And then you have the dual pump on the Unblemish. On one side, it has the benzoyl peroxide, 5%, and then on the other side, it has a gel, which is a moisturizing gel, which kind of counteracts, because sometimes benzoyl peroxide really stirs up kind of redness, and so this helps counteract together, and it helps slide it on into the skin some more. So this is more of the treatment of breakouts, whereas the one is the prevention of, so, and using it all together along with the number 4, which is the SPF 20, and it's an oil control lotion, and it's also, I've heard from people who use it, they love it as a makeup primer. It is very important to teach people as you go along, they need an SPF to protect their skin, because the greatest ager of skin is the sun, and they have to be proactive. So when they want to skip that, a lot of times it's going to negate some things that they're trying to do with their skin anyway. If somebody needs extra moisture, well, okay, here's how I set people up with Unblemish. Okay, setting them up well, setting your customer up with the right expectations is a huge, huge thing. So here's what I'm going to say. You move on to Unblemish, the directions, you start every other day, once a day. And then over a month's time, you get to twice a day. Okay? I will tell people, hey, track with me. If your skin is on the drier side, I think we already need to add in active hydration serum 1 time a day, or two times a day, Or we could also add in Soothe 3 to counteract, because you're going from 0 to 60 with this regimen, and I believe it is going to help you, but we want to make sure there's could be some bumps along the way, and that is totally normal and totally, just track with me. We'll walk together. That's why there's a 60-day money back guarantee. Your skin cycles every 30 days, and sometimes it takes a lot to get in there. Sometimes with Unblemish, the sweet spot is from 3 to 5 months. Okay, it took a long time to get there with all the breakouts, and we just need to give it time and investment to get to the other side. So oftentimes I will tell them, you may have more breakouts before it gets better. Track with me, and I follow up with them. And there are also some add-ons that are very helpful with Unblemished. Microdermabrasion paste, using that to slough off that skin is so important, that dead skin that is getting trapped. Using this every other day with Unblemish is very helpful, and it kind of speeds up the process. One other thing is the intensive renewing serum. It helps because of the retinol in it. It really helps bringing down those breakouts along with the Unblemish. It kind of helps it work faster. So when people are saying, this is not, I don't want, this is not doing as fast as I want it to. Well, sometimes, all the time, you got to have patience in life. But those are two things that adding in can make a big, big difference. Okay. All right. Reverse regimen. Reverse regimen, there are two types of the reverse regimen. There is the brightening, which is for, some dark marks, some pigmentation, uneven skin tone, dullness. Dullness is a huge thing. As we age, I like to educate you all, and you being able to educate your customers or consultants, that as we age, our skin exfoliates less and less. So at 19 and 20, our skin kind of sloughs off on its own. Think of a snake or something. At 29 to 30 days. So it's like every month it sloughs off. When you hit 30 to 40, it goes 50 to 60 days that it's exfoliating. And then you get more and more and more and more. So as you look in the mirror and you're like, where's that glow I used to have? It's because there's so much. Your skin's not turning over. The cell turnover is not coming as quickly. And so for somebody who's really interested in that, brightening is great. Or even after the summer, brightening is a great thing. Now, what is one of the key things on brightening is the brightening and the lightening have two of the same components. The number one, which is an exfoliating wash. It feels good. It smells good. A lot of people just love it. They want to stick with it. And then the number 4, which is your SPF 50. And it sounds like it would be greasy and heavy, but I use it all the time during this summer. It's very helpful for the skin. And if you're trying to fight dullness and dark marks and hyperpigmentation, you're going to need to be protecting from the sun, especially, on either of these. But the brightening has retinol and vitamin C in step 3, and you mix those together on the back of your hand in a pea-size amount. They're in 2 little containers or 2 little tubes, and put it all over your face, and it instantly has a brightening kind of glow that it brings you. So that is something that helps with aging and helps with dullness. There's that lightening. Who would want lightening? Okay, so here's some caveats I give you on lightening. If someone has sensitive skin, they do not need to be using lightening. Now, I've known people who've used Soothe for 6 months and they've built up that outer layer, and then they can tackle those dark marks. But it is very, very strong. And even people who haven't had reactions to other things sometimes can have reactions to it. So I'm asking them, like, hey, how does your skin do? Does it react to products? What kind of products have you been using? Etc. Just kind of, getting a feel and saying, this is an amazing product, but it is very strong. So I just want to make sure that I am tracking with you. I would, the number 2 and the number 3 of Lightning both have hydroquinone in them, which is the gold standard in skin lightening. Okay, but it can for some people, if they're having a reaction to it, they might be itchy, red. So I would check in with people and make sure that people follow the directions. And I'm not trying to freak you out. What I'm doing is, over time, I have learned it is so much better to provide people with information up front and help walk them through, instead of going, hope you enjoy your regimen, and going like this. Are they going to contact me? Just calmly walk them through. With anything that you do, there are growing pains getting on, but it is worth it to get to the other side. Okay. You are probably going to want to add either active hydration serum to the lightening. Definitely another moisturizer, I would say probably Redefine AM, or you might want to do Redefine PM and they can use the number 4 of the reverse regimen during the day when they use it. And if they need an extra moisturizer during the day, maybe you add in Soothe 3. So just want to give you hints along the way. Come back, listen again. And then the last core regimen, which is where all road leads to blue, which is where we want everybody to head, is Redefine. One thing before I go on, if someone has had bad acne a lot of their life, or even starting later into life, I know several consultants who still use Unblemish once a day. So they use Unblemish in the morning and Redefine at night, or they use, vice versa. They may use reverse with Unblemished. They could be working on other things, but you just have to kind of roll with the skin and see what the best balance is for them. And some people move on from Unblemish and never go back. Or I have the dual pump and the mask, because just in my arsenal. I've never really struggled with acne. I'm sorry, you can throw something through the screen at me. But, around here sometimes, and I've had some cystic things. It depends on stress and weird hormone stuff. So having that in your arsenal is very nice. So, Redefine. There's a mask that draws out impurities. You can use it as a wash and go. You can use it as a mask twice a day. Sometimes you have to work up to that. It dried me out a little bit at first, so I pulled back from using it as a mask and then worked my way into it. And I haven't had any problems since, like the first week of using it. Then you have the toner, which is a pore minimizing toner. As we age, the elasticity on our skin just gets less elastic, and so therefore that's why those pores are kind of hanging open, and you may see bigger and bigger pores as you age. And so that pore minimizing toner is nice to help visibly shrink those pores. And then there's the AM cream, which has an SPF 30 in it. Love it. For those of you all who have a little bit oilier skin, it might not be the best balance for you. Maybe by using active hydration with the Redefine, that will help balance that out for you. It's got lots of good anti-aging things in it. And then you have the PM cream, which is very velvety and feels amazing, and just a good sealant and anti-aging on that. And as I've said before, that AM and PM cream could be added to different. It's great with the multi-med therapy. These things are kind of interchangeable, and some people, not one size fits all. So you have to work with people and kind of get creative. If they're not doing just with the straight regimen, you can help go, you know what, maybe we need to add this, maybe we need to add that. And that's what's good on that Priscilla page or even RF Connection. And then in Teammates, Sideline Teammates, and your sponsor might be able to help you in that. Okay, so I'm going to go through, I'm looking at the time here. Okay. Things that you want to recommend to people that make a big difference. Okay. This is our AmpMD roller. If you will look, you can see it rolls. There are 192 surgical steel microneedles. They're tiny. And this is an instrument to help increase turnover in your skin, help bring firmness. Remember the elasticity that's going away, helps firm that up. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. A lot of times it helps with scarring. So this is used with the Redefine regimen or the reverse brightening regimen. Okay, anybody with sensitive skin does not need to be doing this. They may want to build up their skin for a while with the Soothe, and then they can move on to this. Okay, and you're the one guiding them. So, so what they do is, like for Redefine, I would use step 1 and 2. I would roll, and you roll for no more than a minute. You're gonna do gently. It feels like a kitty cat's tongue. Gently up and down, side to side, get in the, I'm gonna, on your neck, down, side to side, diagonally one way, diagonally the other way, on your neck, at night, because then you are going to use this intensive renewing serum, which is amazing. They have created a new derivative of vitamin A called retinol. It is just under prescription grade. Okay, it can be used because this is a time-released capsule. It's got peptides and retinol in it, and so at night it's time-released, just like a pill you would take that was time-released. But do not take this in your mouth. Some people have tried. I mean, I can understand why they gotten confused. Do not get confused. It goes on your face. But because it's delivered over time, it is much gentler than, if you've gone to the doctor's office and they prescribed Retin-A. Sometimes you can get Retin-A or a retinoid cream for really cheap through your doctor's office, but it tears your skin up, almost makes it worse, like red, peeling. This does the work, but in a gentle way. So it can be added for the Soothe regimen, for anti-aging while you're working on the sensitivity, can be added to the Redefine with or without the roller, the reverse lightening and brightening, and the Unblemish. This is going to help fight that acne for the Unblemish as well, because vitamin A is a great fighter of those things for dark marks and for acne and all of those things. So these go together. You roll, and then you put this all over. You can use it every night with those 2 regimens that I said, or you can use it every other night. For people, sometimes I recommend, hey, try using it every 3rd night and then build up to using it every night. And you don't want people to be bearing down really hard. There's just like a medium thing. It should not hurt. It may feel just a tad bit weird, like the kitty cat's tongue, but it should not hurt. And if they're doing it and it hurts, then they need to lighten up on it. But this makes a huge, huge difference. And so if there's something that you're going to recommend, and just telling you, when you recommend to people, don't be afraid to recommend the top thing. And then you can give them options if they're like, well, I can't spend that much. Because really what you're doing is, I mean, if you really want to help somebody with their skin, being able to tell them, okay, clinically, all these before and afters and everything come from using everything together as it should be used. And, you know, it's not apologizing for price. These are really good products, and it's premium skincare. And so making sure you don't come out with a, I've learned that over time. I was worried about people spending money or not spending money, and I realized, you know, that's their decision. And giving them the facts is what our job is. And, you know, we can give them the facts and say, this is your best results are going to come with this right here. And then if you want some other options, I can give you some other options, but the best results are with this. So practice that language. Because you want lifelong customers. And somebody who's piecemealing things is probably, in the end, if they continue to do that, not going to be a lifelong customer, and they're not going to get the results that they love. So help them with that. Lip renewing serum. You can roll your lips and put this on. It helps bring volume back to your lips. And it also helps with color, and it helps with moisture, and it feels really good. So there's that. Let's talk about eye creams. Okay, there's the Redefine Multifunction Eye Cream. The Multifunction Eye Cream is, I believe, a must. It looks really small. It lasts me 6 months using it twice a day. Okay, it doesn't take much. You're going to use your ring finger. This is, again, an education thing you can give to people. Use your ring finger because it's the weakest one, because this is very sensitive area underneath there. And then you're going to take just a little bit and you apply it on the bone above and below. Okay, you don't want to apply it right up next to it because it moves in over time, and applying right up next to your eye will oftentimes make things worse, the wrinkles worse. It kind of goes into your eye. So being able to educate your people on that is important. This helps with fine lines and wrinkles, crow's feet. It does help with some puffiness. Then our other eye cream is called Active Hydration Bright Eye Complex. This is more for puffiness, dark circles, things like that. Think tired eyes. This is aging eyes. This is tired eyes. I use both of these together. I put the Active Hydration Bright Eyes first, and then I use this. This is formulated, and it's got, it brightens. It's got these enhancers that brightens. I think it's got a little caffeine in it. It's got our active hydration thing, which I'll talk about just in a second. But this you use right up next to your eye, and you can do it up here too, for those things. I encourage people with all of our products, take a before picture and track it. This is one of those things that I was using, and I used it faithfully, but I was like, I don't know if I see any difference. Well, I compared pictures from right before I started using it, and I had been using this faithfully, and it's done a great job. But in using the Bright Eye, I saw a 3-month before and after and went, oh my gosh, this just took it to a different level. So being able to use that is huge for before and afters. So tired, aging, and this is taging together. Okay, so if we look up to our enhancements line up here, they do that. They do the thing that they say they do. They enhance what you're already doing over here with these regimens. So these are some of the favorite things. Microdermabrasion paste. I use it before I put sunless tanner on. I've used it on the back of my arms along with our active hydration body replenish back here. I've had bumps on my arms for years. It's called keratosis pilaris. Oh, it has been such a game changer. But this can be used in place of a cleanser every other day with all of our regimens. The only thing with Soothe is you want to use it on wet skin and be very gentle with it. You use it with all the others on dry skin and, put it on for 30 to 60 seconds and then wash off, and it's going to help really exfoliate, help the turnover, and help the products work better. If you have a little bit more sensitivity, maybe you want to do every 3 days. It's up to you, but make sure you are exfoliating, okay, and teaching your people about it. It's the difference between having a muddy lake and a clear lake. They're both water, but the muddy lake has all the silt and things in it, and the clear lake reflects well, and therefore it just is brighter and it glows more, okay? I'm going to do this real quick. Lash Boost, a huge, 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 huge seller. Okay, our goal is to not just have Lash Boost customers because Lash Boost is cool and it nourishes and protects and strengthens your eyes. It's a serum and you use it once a day at night on your eyelash line. It doesn't take much. You take it out, you wipe it. Make sure you don't have too much and go across. Here's another thing that you have to kind of track with people and go, okay, sometimes there might be a little irritation at first because your eye is getting used to it. I know mine were a little bit dry and itchy for a few weeks and then it totally went away. But when people slop it on and they don't, it's dip, wipe, apply. When they don't wipe and they use too much, that's when they run into trouble. You can also use it on your brows. I use my extra on my brows. So good. Another tip for this will last forever. It feels like you never get to the bottom of it, but here's what won't last. I can't even think of the word of it. It loses its potency. The potency won't last after about 3 months. It was formulated for 60 days, okay? And then when you think about open and closing, air in and out, that is exposed, and over that time, it starts to lose its potency. So 4 months is the greatest length of time that I do without changing out. And then when you start a new one, it's like, gook, again. 4 weeks, you'll see there's a difference going on here. 8 weeks, you'll be like, 12 weeks, whoa, go, go, go. And so this is a great thing. It's sold in, if you can help people get 20% off on this by pairing it with a regimen. So, and this one, Active Hydration Serum. It's my favorite. And it's the thing that I needed that I thought, what are they coming out? I don't understand why they're coming out with this. Almost 2 years ago. Now I do. They invented a molecule with this. This has glycerin and hyaluronic acid to draw moisture to your skin. It's not like a moisturizer. A moisturizer seals what is already there. So when you can think about if you've ever been dehydrated and hadn't had enough water and, over sweat, and it does crazy things to your body. It is not healthy for your body. And your skin is the same way. If it is dehydrated, it ages faster. The appearance is not good. More wrinkles, more just not a healthy appearance. And so, You know, a lot of people, if they have oily skin, they avoid moisturizer because it makes it greasy. It's just putting it on top. And if they have dry skin, they feel like they can't get enough moisturizer on there. It just, because when there is not enough moisture like underneath the skin, it's the moisturizer is not going to do much for you. So what this does is it helps to balance the skin and helps to draw moisturizer, the moisture to it. The first time of use, the skin is 200%, has 200% more water and hydration in it. A great example of this would be a raisin and a grape start in the same way. They're the same thing, but one is dehydrated, which is the raisin, which is wrinkled, and the grape is plump and full. And that's what we're trying to do with your skin. Why do people with oily skin need this? Because they would think, I'm running from that. I've got too much moisture on my skin. Well, most of the time, oily skin is actually dehydrated skin. And what is happening in that is that the oil is being produced by the skin to counteract that. And then you just get a big old sludge of oil by the end of the day. What active hydration does, you would use it once a day sparingly. So it, you know, this is what they say, this is what comes out for them to use. And if you had oily skin, you may use 1 drop. This is going to last forever, but you may use 1 drop and put it all over. You may use 2 drops. So you want to use it sparingly, and you're going to get used to it. And your skin is going to adjust. And what I've found is people are saying, yeah, I used to have an oil slick by the end of every day, but now I don't, and it is so encouraging. So, and that helps it just helps all the way around. That's going to help breakouts. It's going to help all different kinds of stuff. If you have dry skin, you're going to want to use it twice a day. I use it, twice a day. Buddy, hold on. You can do it. I use it twice a day during the winter. I use it sparingly in the summer and the spring, those hotter times. I avoid this area in the summer and spring because I found that I just have learned that's where I can get some breakouts, and more moisture in that area works against that with me. So what I've learned is I avoid the chin, but not in the winter. In the winter, when there's dry air and heat, and it's it's tough on the skin, and there might be drier skin, I use it twice a day, and I use the whole deal instead of just in the summer. I use like 1 drop, 1 drop, and 1 drop. Okay, so there you go. And what makes this different from other stuff out there is that the molecule that they invented allows for 30% glycerin with the hyaluronic acid, which draws more moisture. The other formulations out on the market have anywhere from 2 to 10% glycerin, and they can't do any more because it's sticky. So what we've done is our amazing research and development team has developed this molecule, and it is not sticky, and it allows to have greater results. So this can be used. It has helped with my skin, fine lines and wrinkles across here. It's helped just with the tightness, fullness, just this kind of glow to my skin. Can be used with any of the regimens, and that will help with anti-aging in the midst of it and the balance of the dry and oily. Okay. Body Replenish is active hydration for your body from your neck down. Love it. It feels amazing, but it also acts as like this filter, almost like an Instagram filter on your legs. There's before and afters of like crepey skin, like a little bit of it kind of looks dry and a little wrinkly. And after using Body Replenish, it's just a fuller feel. This is great for extending spray tans and for putting on after you put on our sunless tanner. This is one of my favorite things. mineral peptides, and it comes with the brush. You can buy the brush, use that. I use this. That's the only thing I use today. This comes in 3 colors: light, medium, bronze. You can kind of use at different times in the year. Use it. It's got an SPF in it. It has lighteners, brighteners. It helps even skin tone, and it's really light. Like, takes me a second. I use it on top of my Radiant Defense to set it, which I will go back to Radiant Defense right now. Hint of all hints. Radiant Defense, you can also, you're going to want to invest in Give It a Glow's 10 for $10, or Radiant Defense Samples 10 for $10. This allows for people, and you can divide it up, but it allows for people to be able to see what best fits with their skin tone, and even work with what you're going to do in helping people find their skin tone for Radiant Defense. They're going to look at the tones, the 3 colors that look most closely like what their skin looks like. And so I tried out with these top: shell, beige, and sand. Actually, because I'm a whitey white girl, I thought, oh, I'll be shell. And I actually wasn't. I was beige. And so I do some contouring and do shell under my eyes a little bit, and sand right here when I'm getting real fancy. It's buildable. It's light. It helps protect from the sun, protect from environmental aggressors, emotional responses, like, because we wear our heart on our face. Like, life is hard and weary, and this is like almost an Instagram filter for your face. I have never, ever, ever, ever worn foundation, like maybe once a year, and I am very drawn to this because it is not like that at all, and I just feel like it enhances it in a natural way, what I have. And also for Radiant Defense, there are 6 shades. Don't sell it without the brush. It's kind of pointless unless somebody has some really good brushes at home, but it's formulated. You're going to want to put it on a little pea-size amount on the back of your hand. There's some great tutorial videos, and you're just going to, like this, and you'll have to play with it a little bit, but this helps in putting it on so much. It's a totally different feel. Also, you might want to just wet it just a little bit to go over where you went, and then I finish it out as a setting thing with the, well, I've lost it, with the mineral peptides. Okay. This is fun. This lasts a long time. I encourage people to get 2 different colors, and that way they can go with one for the summer, one for the winter, but mixing a little bit is fun as well. The last thing, we have our Enhancements line. Sunless Tanner, love it. Again, whitest of white girls. I exfoliate, put the tanner on, like whatever, like if I do 1 limb at a time, and then end it off. I used to end it off all the time with our daily body moisturizer. Love this stuff too. But now I'm doing the body replenish on the end of it. But this stuff lasts 24 hours. It just brings, like, it just seals in that moisture. It's wonderful. Complete eye makeup remover. Lasts a long time. It's gentle on your eyes. These are our gauze pads. A lot of times people think, I don't need those. This helps extend the length or the life of whatever you're buying. They can be cut in half. There's 150 in them, but all I need is like 1 drip of toner with this. Instead of, I thought I was going to be wise and go to Target and get little things, and it just sucks up. Even the thinnest of things, just with the cotton, just sucks up product, and you don't want to do that. If somebody calls me and tells me they're out of toner before they're out of anything else, I realize, oh no, girl, you need the gauze pad. So it's a great thing to add in from the beginning. And also, added with the Radiant Defense or anything, are these makeup wipes. You get 2 packages of them, so there's 60 in all. And then if you love chapstick, you'll love Lip Shield. It's got an SPF in it. There's 2 in here. It's got SPF 25. Here's the deal with these Essentials products. They are great assets. They're good products, but they're the cheaper things that we have to sell. And I would encourage you, there's $20 to become a PC. I would encourage you, instead of, if you ever do an incentive, hey, I'll pay your PC fee, I would encourage you, hey, you get an Essentials item of choice on me. And then have them order it in their order. It's going to go in your PSQV. Then send them, like PayPal or Venmo them, $20. Okay? Then you're getting another product in their hands and you're helping your PSQV. And so there you have it. One last thing, I would encourage you in your back office, underneath consultant only products, I think like support or event stuff, you can get these product guides. So helpful. It tells all about the products, and it also gives consumer results studies. It tells you about the ingredients in there. It's so nicely put together, and like gives before and after. So you have this in your arsenal. You can send it out with samples. You can use it at events, or you can use it just as an education thing for you. I really encourage you to do it because it's so well put together, and it will help you learn to be a product helper for your people. So good luck with products. They're great, and always you can ask questions of all of us.